Hey, everybody, welcome back to Entrepreneurs in Finance. And this is more of an educational podcast to inform you all the services that we have here beyond, one of the services we have beyond just learning the finance of business. And today we're going to talk about the enhanced profit package that we offer here at CCTG. And in order to help me do that, I brought in the big guns on that side of the business. And so, first and foremost, those of you that have watched this podcast before, I have my right-hand man next to me that helps me runs this, Joe Schaefer.
Hello.
Who is the director of the Enhanced Profit Package program and also lead instructor of that program. Yeah. And we'll get to what that means in a minute. And then I also pulled in Kristen. Hey, Kristen.
Hi.
Who is the really the head of support of that program for the graduates who actually purchased that package. So, this podcast was this episode was really it was erected by the fact that everybody's always asking, what is the enhanced profit package? Sometimes I think it gets lost in the grand scheme of things of what goes on here, because we are centered on finance. However, those of you that don't know, we do have our own marketing company here, the Finance Marketing Group, which provides the marketing services to all you graduates and future graduates. And because we know a thing or two about digital marketing, we thought it would be great to offer it to our graduates as a second business opportunity, if you will, to go out and offer marketing to business owners, right? Because I always say the most two important ingredients in growing a business or even sustaining a business is marketing and capital, right? So a lot of our graduates are having success with it. And guys, I just want to have a conversation about what it is that this profit package is and your roles, each of your roles in this, so graduates can get a good understanding of what it is. So Joe, I'll turn to you first.
Oh boy.
I'll turn to you first. All right. And I do appreciate you wearing a blazer. It's one of the 2 days out of the year that I see you wear a blazer.
Well,
it means it's important. This is an important.
Must be important that I wore the blazer. That's right. I even unrolled the sleeves for you and everything. So
I won't ask you to stand up and embarrass yourself. So, but let's just keep it there.
It's a surprise.
All right. So, but Joe, you want to explain kind of how the profit package works, and also mention, it's an additional 2 days.
Yeah.
After these guys get done with me and training, you get the pleasure of having them additional 2 days. But go ahead.
I mean, when you just kind of break down the name of the package itself, the enhanced profit package. What does enhanced mean? To make better. And we're making better on the ability to make a profit here. So how to do that is, as you will say in class, diversify.
Right.
By diversifying not only, your pipeline and your network of people, but also diversifying the services and the solutions. You'll see when you come through class, we try to not call them services, call them solutions. But by offering additional solutions that every business needs, it goes without saying, it's almost a no-brainer that this is just an incredibly low-risk addition to the training that you're already coming through. And like Chris mentioned, it's 2 days extra of really a crash course in digital marketing, taking my 18 to 20-year career and crashing it into 2 days. And then, Kristen's with me, and, this whole thing could never work without the rest of the team. And so what I keep telling everyone is, everybody on the marketing team is a function of support, but in order to make sure that the support team and the support efforts work correctly, you need to have a strong person in that role. And that's where Kristen comes in. So while I may be, teaching that class from the outset, for primarily those 2 days, Kristen's in there for a bit of that as well.
Right.
But then I continue education after that. And that's my role, is I'm providing more and more education after that. And I kind of hand over the keys to Kristen at that point.
Right.
And she and her team take over and fly with it.
Well, let's just back up. I mean, the overview though of the opportunity is these guys, if they want, they sign on for an additional $5,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is I mean, I'm not just saying this because I'm the owner of the company, but it really is a huge bargain considering what they're going to get, because
absolutely,
they're essentially running their own marketing agency at that point. They own their own marketing agency, and the the premise around it is they get to go out and offer digital marketing services to their clients at wholesale prices, which we give to them.
That's right.
And they get to mark it up, right?
Yeah.
And still remain competitive in the in the digital marketing, if not even more competitive in the digital marketing landscape.
Absolutely.
All the time that this is white labeled. So they don't know that we're doing the work. Their clients don't know that they're doing the work.
No, and you know, just as a quick aside, on day 2 of training on Tuesday afternoon, we go through some prospecting techniques, and we show one technique utilizing chambers of commerce all across the United States, and we can show you how to pinpoint low-hanging fruit that would return that investment in one campaign. Yeah,
I mean, you know, the opportunity alone is, you know, again, if you look at, there's some other opportunities out there where you can kind of dabble in, you know, doing digital marketing services, but this is a fraction of the cost just for an add-on.
And it's full stack. It's not just one simple, you know, it's not just web design that we're offering. It's not just, you know, digital advertising. It's the whole gamut of digital marketing that every business really should utilize in terms of, you know, a full footprint that's out there, and, you know, really trying to reach as many customers as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's a full, I mean, since they're already sitting with the business owner, helping them with their financing needs, chances are it's a great opportunity to cross-sell marketing.
And vice versa. You know, if somebody's talking to you about marketing, it's cross-sell the capital side.
Right.
Most definitely.
Because a lot of graduates sometimes can finance their own marketing proposals, which kind of blows your mind if you really think about.
It's one of the biggest objections that any digital marketer is going to get is budget. But if you can get rid of that, you're golden.
Right.
So, you know, Kristen, I'll let you jump in here because sometimes Joe can dominate a conversation.
I can. It's true.
Tell me about, you know, your role in the organization that you have here, or the organization that we have here. I mean, you're really hands-on. I mean, you're in the trenches with the graduates who purchase this program day in and day out, correct?
Yep, in the trenches. So what I focus on is 3 things: prospecting, pitches, and proposals. Those are really the main aspects. The great part about this profit package is the fact that you have us as a back end team. So if you need help filling your pipeline, you know, get on the phone with me. We'll talk through some ideas. I just got off the phone with one of our newer graduates that wanted help role playing and help creating her elevator pitch. So I'm here for that. I'm here to jump on a pitch for you as part of your sales team. To really talk through the nitty gritty, you know, ins and outs of PPC or SEO. And then my third main function is making those proposals for you. So once you have someone that is interested, you also don't have to worry about putting that full-fledged proposal and campaign together. We do all of that back end work for you.
Right. So, and maybe take me through so everybody can get an idea that maybe viewing this. Let's say I'm a graduate of this training. I leave training. I go to my, you know, my favorite restaurant, and now I'm out of training, and I know the business owner, and I ask him, hey, you know, who's doing your marketing? Do you have any qualms about who you're doing? Are you even doing digital marketing? And number 2, if you are you happy with it? And let's say that person says, you know what, I think I may want to change, or I want to hear what you have to say, right? At that point, as a graduate, what do I do knowing I have a whole team behind me, you know, that you kind of lead? So what would you encourage me to do if I was a graduate?
If you are newer and a little less comfortable, honestly, my first idea would be getting me on the phone, you know, scheduling a call. I have my calendar available so all of the graduates can see it. You know, getting me on a call as a member of your team so I can speak to, you know, the higher levels of a marketing campaign and their current digital assets, you know, what they're doing, what we can help with.
Right.
If you were really comfortable, we have graduates that do have experience in digital marketing.
Right.
If you were really comfortable with that, I would just really go over some key points and ideas and information we'd need from the business owner for that conversation to get him a proposal.
Right. So either way, though, they're, you know, they have our whole team, you know, so you would present yourself as a member of their business, of the graduate's business, talking to the restaurant owner. And so at that point, there's an assessment, right, of what the goal is of the business owner and how we go about crafting a tailored marketing campaign to the business owner, correct?
Yes.
Your team would do that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And just kind of take me through once your team develops a plan of action, which would be a proposal, right? You'd give it to the graduate and that would have their wholesale costs, correct?
So the way that we give people proposals is you're going to get the proposal already marked up. So it's going to be client facing. But then the other key piece that someone's going to get when they get a proposal from me is a pricing breakdown. Typically speaking, we know what works, we know what doesn't, we know what closes and what doesn't. Typically speaking, graduates can get away with a 100% markup. Meaning, if a website is going to cost us at a wholesale $1,500, we can mark that up to $3,000 and still be competitive and make the sale for that graduate. So the graduate's taking home $1,500 as well.
Right.
So they'll get both those pieces of information. I typically recommend to mark it up 100%. Why dip into your profits as our graduates? But if we have to work with specific budgets and work with markup, happy to do that as well.
But on average, our graduates experience right around 100% markup based on the wholesale cost. Yeah, I think that's important to realize.
Super important.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kristen's really good with the team of not pricing you out of the market.
Right.
So, when you go into these proposal meetings, it's not like a number that's so astronomical that they just shut the book, they shut the door, and it's not so low that they go, maybe they don't value their work so much. It's right in that nice sweet spot all the time.
And, for people that are watching this going, you know what, I'm not Steve Jobs. I don't know how to code. I mean, what do I know about digital marketing? I mean, what would you say to that person saying, why I'm not a coder? I'm this, I can barely turn on my iPhone. Why would I be good at digital marketing? I'm I know finance, or this is what I want to do. Obviously it's the core product here, but why, maybe I'm a little gun shy because I'm not tech savvy.
My first answer is you don't need to know digital marketing. We do that for you. What you do need is you need to be personable. You need to know how to sell, but consultatively, meaning, you're not just going to be a car salesman and push things on people, but you really just need to know how to talk to different business owners and how to prospect and how to find out what some of the challenges that a business owner is facing.
Right. Yeah. It's motivation. It's the go-getter attitude. And also the people, not just the personable piece to it, but those that are actually, we've also noticed those that are making a conscious effort to educate themselves a little bit more as time goes on, not waiting for my next email, my next video, but they're reaching out to you and asking those questions.
Yep.
That helps show us also that that's going to be a more successful graduate in terms of frequency of proposals.
Right. Just like the graduate I just got off the phone with and role playing.
Yeah.
She's not waiting for the phone to ring. She is actively trying to get out and better herself and learn how to consultatively sell.
That was 1 week ago today. She finished up.
Yeah. And a great story. I'd love for you to maybe tell us some stories about some of the people you're working with and what's going on. But I have my favorite one. And you'll probably mention, he wouldn't mind if we mention him on here. I forget the graduate's name, but the graduate who essentially went through here bought the legacy package, which those of you that don't know, when you buy the legacy package, this is already included in the legacy package. It's not an add-on, right? But if you buy this regular platinum or gold, if you want this, you have to add it on. But he bought the legacy package. Finance guy, he's thinking finance, and I happened to talk to him maybe about 2 months after training, and he wanted to pick my brain on some strategy, but he goes, here I was, I dropped $100,000 and, we're all geared up to do finance. And he said he bought the legacy package in his mind for other reasons, like the extra year of leads and, a lot of other components as well. Right. He wasn't even bothering with the digital part. I mean, to his mind, he goes, great, I have it, but I'm never going to do it. Lo and behold, his first bit of revenue was a marketing proposal, which was a website.
It was a website redesign.
He made like $30,000 though with those campaigns.
Yeah.
Just right off the bat, he made his money.
Right off the bat. And he wasn't even thinking about, digital. So
you want to know what he did though, that I would encourage anyone who's thinking about the enhanced profit package to do is use your team.
Yeah.
That is why I'm here. That is, why I still have a job. Use your team. What he did is he had me on every single sales call for his first 5 sales.
Yeah.
And that is completely fine. I will never complain about that. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy the sales aspect, but that way he didn't have to waste that business owner's time and saying, well, I'll get back to my team because I don't know that answer. I'll get back to
Or
get back
sounding
to you.
competent.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
And from a business owner perspective, I mean, Chris owns a digital marketing agency as well. Chris does not know all the ins and outs of, a PPC campaign or SEO, and he doesn't have to. Yeah. That's why he has us as a team. So you are in that same position essentially as Chris is in. You have a team behind you. You're not expected to know all of those nitty-gritty answers.
And we talked to them on Tuesday, the second day of training, on how to talk to people when you don't have the answer, how to keep them satisfied until you do have that answer, instead of just kind of shrugging your shoulders and saying, you know what, I don't know, because nobody wants to hear that. So.
Right. Yeah. And it's, I think people looking into this, it's evident that, what we sell here, what we offer here is a reflection of, at least, my own business model that I've built up in the last 20 years. Right. I mean, we're saying, hey, as a broker, you can go out and make money by selling marketing. And if you look at our own business model, we have financing companies, we have a digital marketing agency. Right. And again, it's one of the two things I think are the most valuable to business owners. You're not really even selling them.
No,
I don't think, it's more about getting them to understand what it is and and to help them achieve their goal. I think most people know they need marketing. Right. It's just a question of they don't know how to go about it because it's complicated these days.
Right. Sure. Or they don't, or if they're getting marketing, they don't know if it's really as top notch as they think it is, And so that's where that question comes in that you had mentioned earlier with the restaurant, which is, how do you acquire and retain customers today? And are you happy with how that's going?
Well, and also too, I think most small business owners have that. Some, I think, more jumping on the train, but some still have that mindset of, I don't need digital marketing. I got a website already.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they think that's digital marketing, but you got to drive traffic to the website, and there's multiple strategies, to do that.
Oh yeah. I mean, today, we say it in class, the old challenge 10 years ago used to be, well, you have to get an online presence.
Right.
Today's challenge, consumers expect you to have one.
Right.
And so now it's to win the hearts and minds of customers because there's so many choices out there.
Right.
Joe, can you elaborate a little bit, since you're the lead instructor?
Sure.
A little bit about what is taught, because I think some people may think that you get into the weeds and these little technical aspects, but that's not their job to know the weeds.
No.
Their job is just to know kind of about the product and how to convey it and sell it to people, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we touch on it on day one on each of these solutions, and it's just an introduction because the fear of the unknown, people get a little nervous about it. The next day we get into more of the weeds, but it's just really about exposure, just understanding and exposure. Over 2 days, I just want people to walk through and go, I'm confident enough that this is going to work, that this team is going to work for me. And that's really it, because you can teach theory all day long. You can teach coding all day long. Nobody wants to hear all that. They want to know that the team, this white label team, is actually going to be able to deliver. And we show, that's what we really show them is, here's what we do, why we do it, why it's important, and how you can work with this team to make it work for you.
Right.
Yeah. And I think too, we to substantiate the fact that we're really teaching a business model. We have graduates, as Kristen, that do have experience in digital marketing, and they recognize the value because they already have a huge team now. They don't have to go out and hire people in order to execute on, let's say, a large project, right?
Right.
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about white labeling, and you could scale really unlimited, without worrying about that overhead. But what we teach goes more than just marketing. I mean, we even teach how to set up billing.
Right.
We give them a merchant processing company, which is how you essentially collect payment. It's on a you get a business that needs marketing. You put them on a, whether it's a monthly service or a one-time fee, you would charge a credit card, so we kind of go even beyond just saying, here's how you sell this. I mean, even getting their business set up to accept payment from.
And the pitfalls of running an agency. I've run my own agency. We've all done freelance work. And so we take all the good, the bad, the ugly, and we got rid of the bad and the ugly.
Right. And even items like setting up a CRM.
Right.
We have a training on that too.
Right. When I have graduates that, come to me after going through training and saying, I don't know what to do, I'm overwhelmed, the first thing I will say to them is set yourself up for success. You're going to do that by organizing yourself before you get a ton in your pipeline, setting up a CRM, making sure you have access to the training materials. We have a great portal. So you're going to have, unlimited access to that as well. But just setting up those simple business processes, we will also coach you through so that you're set up for success.
Yeah. And then with continuing education, it's kind of, it's a menu, what you need, you can pick from. So for example, we just recently did a whole series on how to use email correctly, etiquette and everything. That's gonna be your primary mode of communication. You should know how to use it.
Yep.
Sure. Well, is there anything else we think we missed here, guys and girls?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I do have a question for Kristen. If you had a chance to get rid of one objection that you've heard during training from any of our grads, which one would that be?
During training?
Yeah.
That our creative briefs are too long.
Right.
And
why are they long?
I say that because when we go through training on the Tuesday of training, I do take quite a bit of time to walk everyone through our creative brief. That is the form that you'll need to fill out when you need a proposal from me. And I get that objection many times before the grad has even seen the whole thing. But we need them long because we need all of that information in order to make sure that we have a successful campaign down the road for your client.
And that leads me to the one thing that I would bring up based on that is that we offer custom solutions and that, all businesses have their own unique set of challenges. So there's no package A, B, or C. We'll just pick C this time because that's where the budget fits. It's customized to those exact needs. And by collecting all that information right there, we can hyper focus the solutions.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing to mention. We're not like the McDonald's of white label digital marketing.
Everything's
agencies.
custom.
Everything is, and that's one thing that our graduates enjoy, right? That everything is custom to their, if they're financing them, their borrower or their client.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's not like check a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and here's your package.
No.
Right.
It's custom solutions. And so that brings up, I guess, one point that I didn't even think about that I think is useful for the viewership here, people that are listening to this. If they're sitting there going, okay, I'm in, San Francisco and there's 50 top digital marketing agencies around me.
Right.
How would I be competitive? What's going to make me different? Can we talk about some of those points?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You start.
So one item that I always coach grads to do is not think of themselves as another digital marketing agency. You have to set yourself up as another business owner, helping business owners grow their business. Once you say the word marketing, that business owner has probably gotten 10 other calls that day.
Right.
Set yourself apart. So the first thing that you're going to do is go in with that consultative selling approach. Don't go in with just a regular marketing agency approach. Create your elevator pitch. And I wouldn't even mention that you're a digital marketing agency in the elevator pitch. Typically,
business growth consultant.
Exactly. I've had that title before.
Yeah.
So the first thing I would say is I'm another business owner, and what I do is I help local businesses gain and retain more clients.
Yeah. It's a mindset that we teach too. And that's the mindset, which is the helper mindset.
Right.
So it's custom solutions. We're data driven and results driven.
Right.
So even if there are 50 other in San Francisco or wherever, are those other companies results driven, data driven? Hardly any of them will come off with that at the start. And that's what I would always start with.
Yeah. Right. Well, and also too, that we're kind of full stack. I mean,
everything.
We can do, oftentimes with a marketing strategy, you're doing, you're doing multiple things to solve a problem. It's not just one linear strategy. You know what I mean? So you have to, if you're going to build a website, great, build a website, you put some things in motion to drive traffic, but then you got to stay after those customers. So maybe you inject some email marketing into there. I mean, there's multiple strategies and some agencies only do one or two things.
Or they're just really good at one thing.
Right.
They're just really good at one thing.
Right.
And they offer the other because they should.
Right. Whereas we focus on marketing as an ecosystem where every piece works together for that collective goal.
Yeah. Multiple channels, multi-channel approach always.
So, I guess the last thing we'll end with here is, people are saying, all right, well, how much money can I make? I mean, okay, I have this digital marketing agency. So, Kristen, maybe you want to just give some examples of like how much money can these guys make by some hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Website, SEO, kind of how's that work to get some of these people excited?
Typically, just for a basic website, which everybody needs, so it usually is an easy sell. We can teach you how to find that low-hanging fruit. Minimum on a website sale, you're going to make $2,000 to $2,500 right off the bat. The other great option is SEO. If you're running a national SEO campaign, minimum you're going to take home with your profit is going to be $1,100 a month.
Starting at, right?
Right, starting at. So right there, if you sell an SEO package, for 12 months, you've made your money tenfold.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exciting. And it's residual income. I call it
Right.
residual income.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
When you build up a portfolio of recurring billing, you can have a portfolio of recurring billing clients that you're providing services for. And while you're out there doing business deals and real estate deals and all sorts of fun things that I teach here. So
very rarely is any of it set it and forget it.
Right.
Very rarely.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to flex that marketing muscle at all times.
Yep.
All right. Well, hopefully that gives you guys a well-rounded view of what is the enhanced profit package. Why should you purchase it? What are the value propositions that go along with it? If you'd like any more information, I'm sure, we have it on our website. Any of my employees are available here as well. Kristen, sometimes you talk to graduates, prior to coming if they have any questions about it. Joe as well. So you would just ask whoever if you're dealing with Mike Geisler to put you in touch with one of these folks if you need further clarification. So, guys, I thank you for joining me today. Joe, as always.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Kristen, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, all right. I think that's it. And also, just want to mention, too, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And also, we have our brand new CCTG app, which can be downloaded on your Android or iPhone to gain exclusive access to behind-the-scenes content that you won't see anywhere else, including our website, just from the app itself, and even get a sneak peek at some of the live trainings that we have here, too. When we go live, you get a sneak peek of what you're going to be embarking upon should you choose to come here. So, all right, everybody. We will catch you on the next one. Thank you.